This episode of Only Moms is brought to you by Milkify, the first and only breast milk freeze-drying service in the U.S. And as a mama who breastfed for over 10 months and also had to travel all around the world while carrying my frozen milk in a bag, I wish I knew about Milkify sooner. And even if you're not a constant traveler, the holidays are coming up. So many of us are packing up the kids, traveling, and trying to keep everything together. If you're breastfeeding, that usually means lugging around your cooler and stressing about keeping your milk frozen. Milkify takes all that stress away by turning your breast milk into shelf-stable powder. No freezer, no cooler, no panic. Just safe, perfectly portioned milk that's ready when your baby is. And when I tell you it'll be a heck of a lot easier to get through TSA, I mean it. So whether you're flying cross country or just driving grandma's house for the weekend, Milkify makes traveling during the holidays that much easier. Right now, Only Moms listeners get an exclusive discount. So head over to milkify.me and use code ONLYMOMS at checkout. That's milkify.me with code ONLYMOMS. Because moms deserve less stress and more joy this holiday season. Cheers.
Kim.
Yes. Hi.
Hello. Welcome to the Only Moms podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I am so excited to be here. Not only are you a powerhouse, but you're also a mom of 3.
Yes, 3. They're 3, 5, and 7. Ugh.
I know. How's it going?
It's good. Most days it's good. I feel like I'm actually coming out of the woods in a big way. Like my youngest is now 3.5, and he can speak for himself. He's potty trained. There's a sense of independence.
We're gonna have to. We're cracking open the Sauvignon Blanc to cheers to that.
Let's do it. So I feel like we're hitting a stable state, and then my oldest is 7.5, and it's just crazy how much they change even from 5 to 7. So you can kind of almost see what's to come, and it's all just these beautiful little stages. But I feel really grateful to be out of the diaper, bottle, sleep training. When you're in that, you're in it so hard. It's all consuming. And I kind of feel like I'm finally coming up and like making some space and time for other things besides babies and work.
Well, we have our Mom Juice Sauvignon Blanc here that we're going to cheers to.
Try it.
Yes.
Do they know that it's like Monday at 10 a.m.? But that's okay.
I know. I do tell like some of my listeners, I'm like, I can't, or my team. I was in the podcast studio all day. There's no way I can work now.
This is good.
Yeah?
I like it. Yeah. Where's it from?
We make and bottle everything out of Napa, California.
Nice. Okay. Love it. Good for you.
These grapes actually are female growers. Organic.
Amazing.
Female growers.
Oh, great.
In our Sauvignon Blanc.
And the benefits of organic wine there's many. I mean,
of working in wine, on wine?
I mean, just of drinking organic wine.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we'll get into ingredients.
Okay, we can get into that later.
I feel like, okay, so, you have this amazing bio. You are such a powerhouse, but why don't you catch the audience up quickly on a little bit of your journey and what got you here?
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, thank you for having me. I'm a mom of 3, first and foremost, 3, 5, and 7. And I am the chief brand officer at Bobbie. We're an organic infant formula company modeled after EU standards and also meeting FDA regulations. We started 5 years ago. I started at this company 5 years ago in our founder's basement in San Francisco.
Oh my God.
Took a risk on her idea, but also took a risk on myself and said, okay, I think I should do this. I think I can be a part of something important. I think I can grow this. And by the grace of God, I'm still here 5 years later.
Woo!
I know. And it's just been such an incredible career journey building this brand. And prior to that, I was in tech comms and brand comms at Square at an e-commerce company called Weebly in San Francisco. So it was like really living that San Francisco peak tech life in 2013 to 2020. And that was also an insane experience. And then prior to that, I lived a whole nother life.
Right. That's why I needed you to catch us
Yeah,
up. Because
I'm
like,
catching you up.
the things that you are doing are all a little bit or a lot of it different.
Yeah. And I think that I've learned that it's okay to pivot and it's okay to change careers. And again, like if someone's betting on you, bet on yourself. Like you can do it. And I was a local news reporter and anchor and journalist for 10 years in random ass cities all across this country, working shifts from 2 a.m. to noon. I mean, one time I worked 4 to midnight. Like it was just an insane experience that I wouldn't trade for anything. It gave me such a work ethic and a muscle in storytelling. I can handle any deadline. I can talk to any type of person. I truly tell people, I interviewed presidents and meth heads, like, and everything in between. And like, you just never know. You never know what you're going to get handed that day.
Oh my gosh.
But ultimately it burnt me out and I was ready for a new challenge. I really, truly feel that local journalists are the hardest working people in the community. They're overworked, they're underpaid, and they're doing it because they love journalism. And so I was just ready for a different change. And that's what brought me to San Francisco. That's where I met Laura, our co-founder. We were friends before she founded Bobbie. And then she said to me, because we had daughters around the same time, she's like, I'm gonna start an infant formula company and I want you to join. I want you to lead marketing. And I was like literally shocked at this. And I did what I think a lot of women do, and you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
And you have imposter syndrome. And literally the words out of my mouth when she said that were, I don't know how to do that. I'm not a marketer. I can't possibly be the best person for this job.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I'm like, I should have been like, let's fucking go. Like,
I know.
Am I allowed to curse on this podcast?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm a cursor as well.
And I learned so much by her pushing me, and she's like, no, I really think you should come join. I would really love for you to help lead this function and build this brand, and I think you would do a fantastic job. And I ummed and awed about it for months and months. And I had just gone back to work after my second baby, and I was on maternity leave, and I was coming back to work at Square. And she said to me, I really need to know if you're going to do this or not. The board wants me to make this hire. This is a critical hire for the company. Are you going to join? And there was 2 things that crossed my mind that helped me make that decision. One is we were living in San Francisco. This is why people move to San Francisco, right? Like this is why I was here and not in that random city in South Bend, Indiana, or wherever I was put in news. And I feel like that this is the place where ideas start, where companies are built, that energy that you're just trying to be a part of. And I was like, this is my chance to be a part of that. And it's a risk, of course. There's a lot of startups that don't make it.
Of course.
And then the other way I thought about it was like the jealousy, envy side. And I said, okay, if I see somebody on my friend LinkedIn, if I see somebody on LinkedIn say, I'm so excited. I just took a job at a new company called Bobbie, and I'm going to be leading marketing. Would I be so excited and happy for that person? Or would I be like, that's my job?
You took my job.
Yeah, I'm jealous. And I kind of just like pictured, like closed my eyes and kind of pictured that future state of like, what would I feel in that moment? And I was like, that's my job.
Yeah.
So I took it. And it's just been an insane roller coaster of a ride since.
And you're the CEO founder of Bobbie. Your friend, was also announced as one of Time's Women of the Year, one of the 13.
It's incredible. I'm so proud of her, and she truly, truly deserves it. She is an absolute boss.
That is an amazing accomplishment, right? I mean,
we were the only for-profit company that had somebody recognized in that night, and I geeked out. She took me as her plus one. I'm so grateful for it. And I know it was really cool. And we are walking to the table and we start to go sit down at the table. And I'm like, got my phone out. I'm getting the content right all the time.
Yep.
And I look at the table and the name card that was like next to Laura's was Nicole Kidman. And literally on the social video, I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was like, over here, we're sitting. I was like, Laura, you're sitting next to Nicole Kidman. It was so surreal.
Crazy.
It was so surreal. And she was lovely and so beautiful. A vision.
Gosh.
She was so sweet.
Oh, I'm sure.
And everyone's like, oh, what did you talk to Nicole Kidman about? I'm like, feeding babies.
Right. Duh.
What else?
Yeah.
And she was great. And she, she struggled. Of course,
Yeah.
she struggled to feed her baby. She felt the guilt.
Yeah.
She doesn't remember which formula she used, but she remembers the feeling.
Because we're all delusional at that point.
Exactly.
Like, what I don't know what I did.
The universality of it all. It's so crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we're in an interesting time, right, where we're seeing women now become some of the biggest powerhouses. What is it like to build alongside one of Time's,
Yeah, Women of the Year.
Yeah, Women of the Year, and to work for.
Yeah.
What is that like?
Her leadership and her vision setting truly sets the tone for the entire company, for our leadership team, our executive team, which is all women. And it allows us to feel confident in what we're doing and to take risks. And I think on a brand team, you need to feel like you are in a safe place to take some risks and that it's okay to fail sometimes. It's okay. And I don't feel like if I have one mess up, my job is on the line. Like I have her buy-in and her support in building a bold brand. And I run ideas by her and she's like, well, let's give it a go. And it's really nice to feel like you have a visionary in seat who's not just crunching numbers and looking at what is the exact ROI on this, or where's the money? Like she's not that type of founder. She truly, truly cares so deeply about our customers. And I'll tell you a quick story about that just comes to mind of like Laura in a nutshell. The LA fires happened and I woke up the next day it was a Wednesday, and on Thursday I woke up to a text that she had sent it to in the morning. And she was like, these fires are crazy. She's like, the impact is going to be really detrimental to this community. Let's all jump on a Zoom at 9. I want to make a plan. We need to sponsor every single customer that's been impacted for the rest of their feeding journey, no questions asked. And let's start a fund to be able to sponsor any parent, customer or not, for the remainder of their feeding journey on Bobbie, because no one should have to worry in this next stage of how they're going to feed their babies. And she did that because it was the right thing to do. And that was not a call that she made with the finance team or looking at numbers. It was like, we have a product that feeds babies in a time where people are going to be scrambling. They've lost everything. The grocery stores burned down. They're fleeing these places. And of course, infant formula was the number one requested good in the wake of those fires for families. And we just donated. Like we did everything we could to get formula out there immediately. And that was really Laura's leadership on the front lines of saying, kind of going into crisis mode and saying, all right, everybody, let's go. And by the next day at noon, from her 2 a.m. text to noon, we launched the fund. We launched the site. We were able to start taking applications to sponsor people. And I think all in, I think we sponsored about 150 families for the rest of their feeding journey. And it was just a beautiful thing to be able to feel like you can do some good in a time where there's just a lot of sadness.
Yeah. That's a really great story. And, when you are building these companies, it's not just where you live is your community.
Right.
You were building armies of women, both of us, moms, that are just here for each other and truly supporting each other. And the fact that you guys were able to do that, and that Laura is so passionate at the forefront of, like, she was crazy. She's a leader. And
she said that morning, she goes, I want a spreadsheet of every customer that is in a zip code that was evacuated in the Palisades and the Pacific Palisades and Pasadena. And she was like, I'm calling all of them. She picked up the phone and called every single one. Some answered, some she left voicemails, but she was like, I want them to know that we are here for them. What do they need? What can we do? And that they don't have to worry about this. What's their new address that we can ship their formula to if they're on a subscription? All of those things. And it was like she wanted to pick up the phone and be there in that moment. And that's the type of thing that happens behind the scenes that, we're not out there talking about everywhere or like putting it, anywhere. But it's like she leads with that sort of heart in everything that she does. And I think that's come through in the brand that she's helped us build and the type of company that we have and how we show up for our customer.
I mean, you guys stand behind some pretty big issues. I mean, paid maternity leave being one. Do you have like an update on where things are at with that? And you don't have to. I understand,
no, it's
right?
fine. No, I mean, I think Things change with each administration.
Yes.
And priorities change as well. But we know that it's something like 82% of American families believe in passing paid leave, that it's a bipartisan issue. And I think what was really interesting, actually, in the past couple months, I noticed this trend on TikTok and Instagram that was like, formula companies, the devil. They are lobbying against paid leave. They want you to be at work with your baby. And it's so frustrating when you're lumped into these, legacy companies, and historically whatever they have done, now you have done because you are a formula company, and it couldn't be more untrue.
Yeah.
And so I just got so fired up about it one night. I was like, fuck this. And I pulled out my ring light and did a reel that was like, I saw this comment talking about, I heard Bobbie lobbies against paid leave, and it just lit me up so much that I did a whole reel about all the ways in which we have advocated, lobbied, educated, showed up, supported nonprofits to help pass paid leave. And that is something that we have been at since day one, because it impacts every single person almost on our team. It impacts every single person on our team, whether you're a parent or not, because when a parent goes on leave, it impacts the rest of the team.
Yes.
It impacts our entire community of parents. And we should be putting our resources behind moving the needle on culture, not just out here selling powdered milk. So
absolutely,
it's been a really, really big issue for us. We try to lead by example with our own paid leave policy, which is up to a year off you can take with your job protected, 4 months paid. We have a 16-week NICU policy that's in addition to that. That was inspired by a girl on our team, Joanna, who had her baby at 26 weeks. And we didn't have a policy in place. And Sarah Hardy, our other co-founder who really leads the back of house kind of people ops of it all, she created this policy overnight. And it was 16 weeks of paid protected leave, full pay. And and then your maternity leave starts. So you don't have to worry about chipping away at those paid weeks while you're driving back and forth to the NICU to just see your baby. And so everything that we do, we try to lead by example. We then open sourced our paid leave policy for any company that wants to also take it. We called it Take Our Leave.
Oh my gosh.
It's like,
I'm going to do that. I'm taking your leave.
Yeah, it's like people are like, oh, how do you do it? It's like, okay, well, here's the blueprint. Here's how we do it. Here's how we fund it. Here's how it makes sense for our business. And if we can do this truly as a startup with, at the time, less than 100 employees, it's really not rocket science. It's the human and ethical thing to do. So that's what we do. So anyways, I popped off about that. You can catch the reel on our Instagram.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go get the tea.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that you're the perfect example of building by women for women.
Yeah.
And it shows through in your work and in your product. When we talk about product integrity, we had briefly tapped in on this topic before we started filming, but ingredient transparency. What is that like in the formula world?
I think there's a lot of misinformation. Let me start by saying this, and I really, truly believe this, and so does everybody on our team. Infant formula is the most regulated food in this country. Every infant formula that is FDA regulated, that is sold in America, has to meet nutritional guidelines to mimic breast milk. There is no such thing as a bad formula.
Okay.
And there are differences and nuances that I think tie to people's own personal nutritional values.
Yes.
Do you prefer organic? Do you care about the carb source being corn syrup or lactose? Or do you care about the fact that this is available all the time at your local drugstore and that's what you need it to be? Are you cost conscious? Are you not cost conscious? Are you on WIC? Which is a totally different function within the formula industry, which has made it not a free market. And that's why it's not been disrupted in so long. So there's a lot of nuance in this industry. And I really do want to make sure that anybody listening to this, no matter what you fed your baby, you should never feel bad about that, truly. You did what you needed to do. You fed your baby a formula. Your baby is fine. Your baby is growing.
The relief that you just took off of some women's chest.
I mean it. And we need to change the status quo in this industry. When you look at every other CPG company, where the table has been flipped on beef jerky, on granola bars, on goldfish. Everything has had a renaissance.
Yeah.
Except for formula. And when we launched Bobbie, we were, I think, the first formula company to launch in the US in almost 8 years. Like
Wow.
there was just not innovation happening. And I think that matters because consumers want this industry to evolve. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of capital to get into this industry. And God bless Laura for having the tenacity to fundraise while pregnant, to go through all of these investor no's, to just get the green light from one person to give her the money to get to the next step.
Oh my gosh.
So I do think that it is important, as much as it is not to formula shame at all, it is also important to invest in innovation and to try to evolve this industry forward as far as ingredient choices, what we're capable of nutritionally. And that is what we are trying to do at Bobbie. We are trying to move the whole industry forward.
Yeah.
And so there are certain, we could go down a rabbit hole of ingredients, but there's a whole growing category of what we call tolerance formulas. So if a routine formula, the run-of-the-mill kind of routine milk-based formulas don't work, you move to a tolerance formula. It has partially hydrolyzed proteins to be able to easily break it down. And there is this sort of misinformation around the carb source. Well, if your baby can't tolerate this routine formula, then they can't tolerate lactose. So that's what the misinformation is. And so that's why a lot of these companies opt for corn syrup as a carb source instead of opting for lactose.
Got it.
Lactose is the carb source in breast milk. So if you actually want to be as close to breast milk as you can be, you should be choosing lactose as the carb source. And companies can do that and babies can digest it because it's not about the carb source, it's about the protein.
Right.
And when you have a partially hydrolyzed protein, you can choose lactose, and they're not. It's a more expensive choice.
Got it. It's interesting, right? It's a more expensive choice.
It's a more expensive choice. And so we opt for the highest quality that we can possibly find for that formulation.
Yeah.
That also meets all of the regulations. And I think that, to be honest, the US, the FDA, the regulators behind infant formula, I think this is happening, want to see that bar raised, not optionally by everybody, but by mandate.
Yeah.
And I think that that's not a bad thing for our babies.
No, it's not. We're seeing an interesting wave in the wine industry as well, right? I mean, everyone, the better for you category is growing on all spectrums. And, part of the reason why we have ingredient transparency with ingredients on the back of our label is because we service the mom community. And we had so many moms, myself included, asking while they were breastfeeding, like, oh my gosh, I have an intolerant baby to dairy, to soy. Like, what is in this? And then we have the other side of the spectrum where everyone's like, isn't it just grapes?
We wish.
But it's not. Most people laugh when I say, like, our wine is vegetarian, but a lot of people are putting fish bladder in their wine.
That's so crazy. I remember I went to a wine tasting in Napa back in the fall, and one of the winemakers, vintners, was saying, if your teeth turn purple, it's not because your teeth, like your enamel, is bad. It's because the winemaker put dyes in the wine to like get it the right color to sell. And those are the additives and the things that are giving you those gnarly red wine hangovers or whatever it may be. And I was like, wait, so how are we supposed to know which wines have the dyes? And it just really pissed me off.
Yeah, because there's it's not regulated. You don't, it is a highly regulated industry, but it is not a requirement that the ingredients are on the back of the label.
That's so insane. I hope that changes too. I think people deserve to know. And I think that our consumer, like we're millennials, Gen Z coming up, like there is no tolerance for not having full transparency into the products that you're consuming, especially for us, the products that your baby is consuming.
Right.
Another thing that comes to mind for us is we go above and beyond to meet the EU minimum for DHA in infant formula, which we know it helps build brains, helps build eye development, and is a critical nutrient. In Europe, the minimum is 20 milligrams, minimum. In the US, there is no standard.
Really?
So you can put on your can includes DHA, and that could be 1 milligram, 2 milligrams, which by the way, some companies do, so they can make the claim. It can be 20, it could be 15, but you're not allowed to put how much is in there because then it's a nutrient content claim, and you're not allowed to do that. So there are ways in which the education and the double click behind some of these products, I think is important. That's where the importance of the marketing comes in. It's like we want to be able to bring people along, to educate them on the differences, to break down those ingredients on our website and on our blog and have the experts weigh in on like why your baby needs DHA.
So much is education.
Yes.
On building these communities.
Yeah. And I even think about the other thing that's so hot right now, 2 trigger words for the health and wellness audience.
Here we go.
Seed oils. And, the first comment I see on every ad, it's like, well, it still contains seed oils. It's garbage, and I want to set the record straight on this. And I think this is really, really important, is that it's not just about the type of oil used. It is about how those oils are created and processed. And that is, again, the story that you can't tell on the back of the label. So all formulations in the entire world, including European infant formulas, have a fat blend that is created with seed oils. That's soy, sunflower, safflower. You can use organic coconut oil and low uricemic rapeseed, which is canola.
Okay.
There's some mix in there, and you have to have those because you have to have the exact fatty acid chains that mimic breast milk, specifically the linoleic acid. So you have to have that. You can't just go and like use beef tallow or like ghee. You're not going to be able to get what a baby needs to grow. And babies need fats, not just to like chunk up, but to grow their brain. They need 50% of their daily caloric intake should be fat. For adults, it's like 25 to 30%. So it's almost double. You can't mess with the fats.
Right.
And so at Bobbie, I think this is really important. And this is, again, part of the storytelling that we want people to understand the transparency of we're not able to tell on the label is how those oils are processed, right?
Got it.
So they're grown organically, first and foremost, which means there's no persistent pesticides. There's no glyphosate found in our products. We expel or press them, which is a different process. It's not as efficient as doing it the other way. But
it never is.
It's the highest quality way to process them, and we opt for quality. And we do not use hexane, solvents, bleaching agents that are commonly used to get the oils out of the seed.
Okay.
It's all done organically. And so all of those things either make it into your baby's formula or they don't.
Right.
But you have to ask those questions as a consumer, or you have to be brought along by the company.
Right.
So it's a lot.
Well, thank you for that. Cheers to
Cheers to
ingredient
transparency
and education.
Delicious.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you like it.
I'm so basic too. I like a nice ice cube in my wine.
Well, I mean, I did serve you in a solo cup.
I know.
So let's not get too fancy. We can ice it if you want. I of course, because I make the wine, cringe a little, but it'll be fine.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
I want to make a little jump over to just balance as a mother, right? Head of brand, rapid growing company, 3 children. I mean, we both worked through the whole weekend. We're at South by Southwest.
I'm literally running on fumes right now from South by Southwest.
Like coffee, wine.
Yeah, coffee, wine.
Right? Like
Totally.
What's your take?
I don't think that you should try to achieve balance because you're going to feel like you're failing. It's just, I've just committed to the fact that I'm in a season of life that I have to say no to things.
Yep.
I can't be everywhere. I'm not going to be good at replying to the text chain. I'll miss an email here and there on the personal side. Like I got a call last week. I was on a Zoom and I got a call and they're like, is anyone going to come pick up Hughes? And my little 5-year-old, and I was like, oh, like you're going to have those moments. And it's okay. Like, are your kids loved? Are you present with them when you're with them? Are you on your phone? What are the ways in which you're creating some level of boundaries in your life? I'd say boundaries over balance.
Yeah.
One of the things I've realized is my heart rate goes up. And the times that I feel like I'm like, ooh, like the panicky working mom is when I'm trying to do both at the same time. So, those days when like your kids are homesick and you're trying to be the caretaker, but you're also balancing whatever's going on at work. Or if I'm like, oh, I'm just going to reply to this email real quick while I'm also supposed to be present at the soccer game. It's like when you are trying to do it all at the same time, is when I feel like the tipping point hits. And
Yeah.
that's when like I get really stressed. So I try to just like really keep those lanes of like I'm at work or I'm at home.
Yeah.
And that's hard because I work from home. So
yeah, working from home is tough.
it's tough. And I get like little ransom letters under the door from my kids. Sometimes my daughter's like, "Are you done with your work calls yet?" And I'm like, "Don't rub it in.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
twist
Yeah.
the knife." So, it's day by day. And I just think, like each stage of this company has been different. And it reminds me a lot of how each stage of parenting is different. Like just when you think you're like, oh my God, is my kid ever going to sleep? Or like, am I ever going to get this kid potty trained?
A grasp
It's like there's a breakthrough.
Yep.
And so you just kind of got to keep rolling with it and riding the waves. And I don't know.
I agree with that. And I think we need to start unapologetically screwing balance. Like we're all out here searching for balance and then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it truly is like when I'm doing this task, how can I do it 100%? Because when I'm sending the emails at the soccer game, that's when I fuck shit up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's when I mess things up or I miss the goal or, it's never 100%. And I feel like it's a reflection. My team can see that. My kids can see that. And if we can learn ebb and flow, but with that, give 100% of exactly that task.
Yeah.
I think that's a better option.
Yeah. And just like I have weeks where I'm like so diligent about working out. And I'm like, I finally cracked the case. Like I've got it together.
I am back on my fitness journey.
And then, like I haven't worked out in a week because I've just been so busy. And I'm also, I'm optimizing for my sleep. I'm tired right now. I'm tired. And it's like, okay, well, it's not like I can't pick it back up when I'm ready, but everything doesn't have to be so rigid and so diligent of like you've either done it or you've failed or, like you just have to kind of listen to your body, figure out what your body needs and just go through the seasons.
I think the workout schedule was one of the hardest things for me to adapt to. I have a 2-year-old and I don't know why it was like trying to shove my workouts into Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have the weekend. It was like those days weren't even an option. I needed to do the exact same routine.
God forbid you take a moment for yourself on the weekend.
No.
I mean that, and I feel that too. It's like, it's the weekend.
Right.
Woo! Like, let's do the marathon.
No, the kids, the this, that, right?
I'm like, I've got 9 birthday parties and 3 games and cheer practice. And I mean, I actually feel that too. It's like you end up overcompensating for the mom guilt on the weekends.
Yes.
But you do deserve your own window that's not at 5 a.m.
Yep.
And I find that is what it's. I'm like, well, I'll just get up at 5 and no one will know. And I'll
it's like,
nip out of the house.
It is also the weekend. You can sleep in.
Exactly.
I feel like I've solved my weekend mom guilt. I have one of our daughters is a teenager. And then we have a teenage cousin. And so I have them on an alternating little 2 to 3 hour babysitting schedule.
I love that.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
I do breakfast with the kids and then I'm like, I'm going to go work out and wash my car.
Yeah. I love that.
And I'm not going to feel guilty that I didn't do any of those things during the week. And I'm not going to feel guilty because you're making memories with your sister or with your cousin, right? Like, I'm going.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come back great.
You are. I have a hack that I do maybe a couple times a month. We have this really great babysitter that we found, and I'll just book her like a month in advance to just come in on a Sunday from 8 to noon. And I don't know what I'm going to be doing that Sunday. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to be in town, but I just like love planting the seed.
Yes.
So that I know that like there's a break coming for me where I will have 4 hours completely to myself once or twice a month where I can sleep in. I can go work out. I can go to brunch with a friend. I can go walk by myself around the lake and listen to a podcast. Like just knowing that that's coming and that you've planted that seed in advance, it almost gives you a little bit of weight lifted where you find yourself tapping into deeper patience. You're like, I can do this because I have a break coming,
But a key is scheduling it in a month in advance.
Yes.
I also do my entire household schedule a month in advance, and it has been a game changer because in the moments of being overwhelmed, I know what's coming. I know the moments that I've prioritized either myself or my marriage, which I do think is also very important in a healthy family, lifestyle, everything, right? We're really steering the ship. And that is so important. And, a lot of people will try to make you feel guilty for getting childcare on the weekends.
Oh, yeah. I've said this. I talked about this once before on a podcast, and someone's like, that's disgusting. Like,
what?
I mean, whatever. Like, are there any worse shamers out there than mom shamers?
Yeah,
right?
No, there's not.
Which I have thick skin. I don't really care. But I do feel like for those that are in the journey of grinding at your job 5 days a week, by the way, because you love your job and you want to do the work.
Right.
And you're raising children and you're giving it all to them and you're tucking yourself into bed exhausted. Like, there is no shame and there is absolutely nothing wrong with giving yourself a little bit of time to just reset.
Yeah.
And I stand on that. I'll die on that hill.
Because we don't clock out all week.
No.
As soon as we clock out, I'm telling you, as soon as my nanny leaves, then I'm down there 100% mom.
100%. Yeah. And it's like, even when you're done, even when the kids are in bed, you walk down, you're like, okay, I guess I'm going to clean the kitchen. I'm going to pick up the toys. I'm going to,
let me reset all of this now at 9 p.m.
The list is never ending. And I think that's the other thing about it. It's like, you have to let Jesus take the wheel on your to-do list. Okay. Because like, there is never going to be a day where you've checked off everything.
Yeah.
And I joke about getting to laundry zero. Like, there will be like one day every 3 months where I'm like, everybody look, the laundry room is empty. I'm like, everybody look, we're at laundry zero. We've done it. And then
I need a round of applause.
Yeah.
Let's do this. A parade through the house.
Yeah. And then like someone pees the bed and it's all over.
Yeah. Well, when you have the number of children we have, I tell my husband all the time, someone will try to ruin our day every day. Like someone has to have a bad
emotional.
Day. Right. There is going to be something broken or some type of emotional thing happening.
I know. They're so sweet though. It's like they're so little and they need, like my kids need me in just different ways. My little one's like, he just wants to snuggle. Oh. My middle child is like, he just is the middle child. So like he needs his little dedicated time. And then my oldest is a little girl and she, like I can tell when she's maybe had a hard day with her friends at school as they start to figure out like how to be a little girl and their cliques and all the things happening. And, she just really needs to like talk it out with you. And she like wants that chat time.
Is she strong and independent?
I think so.
Yeah.
I like
older
her.
Girl energy.
She's like a big sis energy. But she's also, I think it's easy to say, oh, she's fine. She's got it. She's the oldest. And like, she also needs that tenderness and that nurturing too. Even if she doesn't explicitly ask for it. So they all just kind of need you in different ways and trying to tap into your own cup and make sure that you have the energy to just continue to pour into others. Like you have to refill your own cup. I really do believe that. And some days I'm good at it. Some days I'm not, but I really try.
Yeah. No, same.
Yeah.
Is the whole team at Bobbie remote working?
Yeah. So we were founded in San Francisco and then literally COVID hit a week, I think like 2 weeks after I joined in 2020. And we were like, okay, well, we're going to flatten the curve and then we're going to be back in the office and it's going to be fine. Like we were actually looking at office space in the Mission. And
thank God.
I know that we hadn't signed the lease yet. Right. And I think at that point when we realized, okay, we can actually lean into this and hire some really great people and outside of the Bay Area and kind of not have to pay crazy Bay Area salaries, which was a lot for us at the time, allowed us to grow and scale very quickly. And so we just leaned into remote. And since then, all three of us that were in SF have left. Wow. So Laura's in DC, Sarah's in Seattle, I live here in Austin. And we now have employees, I think, in 24 states.
Oh my God.
And we own our manufacturing facility in Ohio, which is now our sort of, if you ask what our HQ address is, it's our manufacturing facility. And it's great because I could not imagine a world right now where I have to be in office in seat every day with the age of my kids. And I mean, I could do it and people are doing it and cheers to those who are doing it. But there's a lot of sacrifice that comes with that. And I don't want to sit in the car and commute. I don't want to put on mascara every morning.
Especially Bay Area commuting. Oh.
Yeah. It's like, it's just a different beast. So I feel really, really grateful that we're in a fully remote company. It has its pros and its cons. There is a lot of work travel. So I would say 1 to 2 times a month I'm on a plane.
Yes.
Going to a shoot, meeting with an offsite, doing a small group thing, an event, like, marketing. It's just like the constant event stuff. So that gets draining, but I would rather have that and like miss a few nights of bedtime a couple weeks a month than have to miss it every night because I'm stuck in traffic. You know what I mean?
I agree 100% with that.
How about, you're flying around, you're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, where do you go?
We're remote as well. And so I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
And then we are headquartered out of Denver, Colorado, our largest market where my business partner lives.
Okay.
And then we make and bottle everything out of Napa.
Okay.
And then for us, it's really like as we scale different states, right? Having to go in and do these community activations and have brand representation and train the distribution teams and things like that, where we are also on the road quite a bit. And it's fun too, because as your kids get older, I have 3 teenagers, and every summer I take each of them on a one-on-one trip with me, a business trip. And so they've seen bottling and they've seen, there's stuff that's like, okay, you're going to stay in the hotel and do some studies or whatever for an hour. But most of the things, because I'm an entrepreneur and building a company called Mom Juice, I'm bringing my child. Most of the time, like it's okay for them to come along with me and see what is happening. And
that's so cool for your teenagers to see mom building and growing her business and like getting in the weeds of it and like absorbing it in a way that I think a little kid can't, but a teenager could be like, I think I'm starting to understand the scope of this.
Yeah.
This is important.
Right. Well, and it's very different. My husband also has a big boy job and he has to travel for work, but the kids can't go to his meeting.
Right.
It's very still like he's at one of the big 4 accounting firms. They're not letting these kids walk into the meetings. It's not bring your kid to work day.
No.
But I think for us, it's a very cool thing. We also have a tangible product, so it's easier for their little brains to process and start to understand business and entrepreneurship. They saw this as an idea when they were like middle school. And I was like, yeah, Mom Juice, I'm going to go to Napa. Let's see what happens, right? And then they're at our launch when we went into Target and they're like, oh.
Yeah. I think there's real power to that point in showing and telling your kids what you're working on, what you're doing. Like if someone asked your child, like, what does your mom do for work? What would they say? And would they be like, oh, is she happy? Does she love it? Like, what would they say?
Yeah.
She's stressed? Like,
I think they would definitely say she loves it. She has a winery called Mom Juice. It's in Target.
Yeah.
She works a lot. She's a little stressed.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the balance.
Right.
I mean, who isn't stressed? Especially, I am concerned about what's happening with the things we're building.
Yes, of course, as one should be.
Right.
I don't know. I think there's some like great power in like showing them and bringing them along for the ride, and especially to your point of like they were in middle school, now they're in high school. Like that, those are such formative years of understanding what you're capable of and being just, I don't know.
It is.
I just think that it's really important. And I think that moms who go to work and are able to share the highs, the lows, the wins, the joys, and to be able to articulate it and talk about it and not just like box your kids out of it.
Yeah.
I think that the kids that grow up in those households, I believe some studies have shown that like the kids who grow up with the working moms understand, are more high performers later in life, or their
work ethic.
Their work ethic is
different.
strong. I'm probably going to get trolled for this for saying this. I don't have the data with me, but
we have no data. We're both just working moms advocating for ourselves.
We're advocating for ourselves. We're sticking up for ourselves.
Listen, we're trying to feel better today.
And I also want to say, like, I feel like there will be a season of life for me too where I will take a beat and be a stay-at-home mom, and I can't wait to do that.
Yes, but I also don't know how I'm going to handle that.
I don't know either, because like your identity, right?
Our
like an identity crisis.
We're not used to it.
No.
It is what the stay-at-home mom is doing right now. I know I couldn't do. Part of me, because I feel like I have so much left in me to do out in the world, like an actual personal mission for something I was put on to do. I'm not sure. But the other part is that you are doing something constantly. It's very demanding. A lot of stay-at-home moms feel isolated. We have a lot of adult conversations all the time that they don't get to have. It would be such a giant transition right now for me.
Yeah.
I think I would lose it a little bit.
But if every mom went to work, the world would not go round.
No.
Like
I need the PTO moms there.
We need them. Like
And
they
I
are part of the
appreciate
village
them.
to me.
Yes.
The fact that
Yes.
I can't always do the field trip, I can't go throw the Valentine's party, all of these things that I feel guilt on, like they are part of my village
Yeah.
and helping me give my child inclusion and be part of things and have beautiful memories that
and I trust them. Right? There are ones that you find that are your people that you trust, and it's like, I'm not going to be at this today. Can you grab my daughter a Gatorade?
Yeah.
You know, like, and these women don't understand that tiny favor or like them being on that field trip, I will start to cry because it really is like, can we carpool to the soccer game? Like things like that.
Yeah.
It is life-changing for us.
Yes.
And that type of support that maybe we don't give each other more credit for as like working mom, stay-at-home mom.
Right.
The things that each other are doing. It just is like I think we should pat each other on the back.
I think so too. I think they're both equally important in any community, in any household.
Yeah. You have siblings.
I do.
How many?
I have one brother.
One brother.
Yeah,
sibling.
he's 2 years older than me.
And he is, fun fact, co-founder of Airbnb.
Just a little tiny fun fact.
If any of you guys know this company called Airbnb.
It's a true story that I told when he told my mom, our family, my mom and dad and I about Airbnb. It was like back in 2008. So I was like a reporter in North Carolina. And I was like, I just don't think it's going to work.
But no one's write a story on you.
No one's going to stay in someone else's bed, Joey. They're not going to do it.
Oh my God.
I was like, terrible idea. Terrible. Now I'm like really glad you followed through.
Right.
Super glad.
Real proud of you.
Yeah, super proud of you. No, it's been amazing to watch. I mean, I think this is the other thing of like being on the sidelines in a lot of way of watching how much it took for them to truly grow that company and disrupt an entire industry. Like it was blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like 3 years where we were genuinely worried about his health. He was gaunt. He was like emaciated, like not eating. The stress was just eating him alive.
Wow.
And that was like in growth scaling mode in like 2012 to 2015. And then, you have these unlocks. And now you look at the company and it's like this big, huge publicly traded company. He stepped back, by the way. He's just on the board now. But, they got there through continuing to push through all of the no's, all of the haters, all of the people who said it wasn't possible. And he just had that entrepreneurial spirit alongside many of the people that he worked with. His co-founders, Brian and Nate, were amazing. And they hired great people. And Laura, our founder, and Laura and Sarah, both of our co-founders, worked at Airbnb in the early days. And I think once you have that, you have that mindset and you can see that it's doable, it's like, all right, anybody can do this.
Yeah.
My brother and I were not like, he was not special. Like he didn't go to Harvard. Like we grew up in Atlanta and went to public school and, worked hard. And like my mom worked full time our whole life. And she showed us like, you got to go and get what you want and like work hard for it. And she built her own business. And I think a lot of that carried through to who we are. And I think that it is absolutely a reason why Joey thought that it was possible and has achieved what he has achieved. And I'm so proud of him.
And I was going to ask that, right, on you guys' upbringing, because we had just talked about, how we think that kids are showing your children that these things are possible and their work ethic that we're like breathing into them. But do you think that he always had that entrepreneurial bug and then it was something that in your upbringing like really pushed him to be a hard worker and believe in himself?
I feel like it's just a mindset that you're setting in your household. And it's not necessarily like you're learning this certain skill or like you have to say these words specifically. And I can't point to anything like that, but it was just everything was always doable. Like there was no bad idea.
Yeah.
There was no, I can't be done or I'm not sure. It was like, oh, you have that idea? It was like my mom and dad would be like, okay, let's give it a go. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Like everything was nurtured. Whatever I remember it was like, I think I want to be a baton twirler. And my dad's like, well, let's put you in baton twirling.
Right.
It's like,
find that.
and then turns out I'm not a baton twirler.
But you don't know until you try.
I didn't know until I tried. But it was just like everything that we wanted to try and go do was nurtured. And every idea that we had was embraced and supported.
Yeah.
And, again, like we didn't grow up, going to the country club or anything like that. Like my parents worked really hard to provide for us. And I think there was a level of understanding that work ethic, but also knowing that like that doesn't compartmentalize you into what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And you can go and do whatever you want to do. So it was just, I feel really grateful for how they raised us. And I try to pull that through to my own kids. And, I think we're all just doing our best to figure it out.
That's a great message for, all the parents at home, right?
Yeah.
That it's like, don't kill the creativity.
Yeah.
And a lot of success is because you're not afraid to jump on these like crazy ideas.
Yeah. And I think it's like parents have the ability to help with follow through in a way that kids don't quite understand. And that to me is the entrepreneurial muscle. An idea is great. We're all sitting on an idea. But what is the follow through? And so if you as a parent, I try to do this with my own kids of like, oh, you want to bedazzle bows and okay, let's do that. And then let's go sell them on Spirit Day.
Right. You're not allowed to quit.
You
have to
quit.
Bedazzle every
You're
bow.
going to bedazzle the bows and then you're going to go sell them at Spirit Day. And you're going to understand what it's like to fully execute on that idea and not just let it die in the art closet.
Yeah.
No,
I agree with that. I think that is a really great message for our listeners and how we're focus on letting them be creative and focus on follow through.
Right.
Yeah. I love that. Well, cheers to that. Cheers to parenting. You have been absolutely lovely.
Is this it? Are we wrapping?
I mean, we might wrap. I mean, we need to drink up, right? Like, come on.
No, I really appreciate you having me and just being able to have these types of conversations. I feel like just we're all doing our best, we're all doing our absolute best. And I think we're all figuring it out. So the more we can share and learn from each other, I think the better.
No, I love that. You guys have a discount code for us.
I do? Okay. Yeah. What is it? I do. I'm sure I can. Is it on
they
the
gave
sheet?
it to us.
Oh, okay.
They gave
What
it
is
to
it?
us. Well, I didn't remember it because I thought you were going to say it, but
let's make it up right now. What should we do?
I think it was only Mom's 20.
Okay, for 20% off your first subscription?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's do that.
Okay, guys.
So we usually do a 10% off your first subscription. So when you subscribe to Bobbie, you get free shipping and 10% off every box. But let's get you 20% off that first subscription order and make sure.
We've got the exclusive.
I know. I'm really excited about it.
Yes, this is great.
We have a great formulas for anybody who needs one. And we're always just a DM away. So if anybody has any questions, literally it's our team answering every DM. So,
well, that's wonderful.
No AI,
because
no AI on that.
It's a personal experience.
It is.
And we need it. Yeah. Sometimes
you want a mom on the other end.
Yes, of course.
So what should we make the code? Mom Juice 20?
Mom Juice 20. Let's
do that. I love that.
Okay, I'm here. Mom Juice 20. Cheers. And then tell everyone where we can find you.
Okay. I'm on Instagram, incredibly boring, Kim G. Chappy, Chappy.
Are you boring?
I don't know, guys. Like, if you want to see my T-ball games, and I'm just really not good. I don't have time. And then my TikTok recently got hacked, so I'm not there anymore. I'm so bad at this. Actually, LinkedIn is probably the best place. I share more kind of business insights and whatnot there, which is so funny because I've amassed a following on LinkedIn, which I joke is the only platform that you can't monetize. So,
no.
So I'm like a LinkedIn influencer with like that brings $0 to my household income.
You guys, we have a LinkedIn influencer on our hands.
It's also like the most cringe. It's the most cringe social platform. So you can find me there.
No. Oh, I'm going to go find you there. I will run this episode on LinkedIn for you.
And I'll share it.
There we go. That is perfect. But it's true. You're doing so much marketing for the company.
Yeah,
all the time. You're like, they're the ones who matter.
I have zero energy to go create a reel at the end of the day. If I had a content creator, I would do it because I think I would be able to, but
I mean, you've got a really great personality. You would hit
thank you.
no wonder someone wanted to hack your TikTok.
I keep checking it. I'm like, have they like changed the language or like stolen my children's identity? I don't know what's going on, guys.
You're like, no. Okay. Well, that's
so
great.
I'm like DMing people in China. I'm like, can you help me? My TikTok has been hacked. Please help me. No reply yet. Just so we're on the same page.
There are no moms
yet.
on the other end of the
No
TikTok
moms on the other
DM.
end. Oh my God.
Well, I appreciate you being here. I feel like we had so many important conversations.
I appreciate you having me.
Mom Juice 20.
Yes,
let's
Mom Juice
rock.
20.
Let's get all the formula that you may need from a really
Yes, I'm here for you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.